Spin. Coolant jelly.
It's rusty.
Either we both cry.
Panel with the filthy ones.
I missed.
No anymore. Just put it in the engine.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you watched the first video, we're just joining in after I spilt the coolant on my shoe. Josh is up over there. He is giving the ML a lovely paint job on a black panel, and I'm about to start ripping this out. Oh, sorry, keep the mic close. Ripping this out and we can go inside it and see what it looks like and start pulling the auxiliaries off. Josh is doing some satisfying carpet dyeing for the E36 back covers. So that's like the standard Beamer grey boot carpets that were all stained and nasty, but with black carpet dye they actually come up pretty good. This one here is what they look like, and that's after like carpet clean and trying to get it all out. So if you can't make it grey again, the logic was make it black. Okay, so as you can see up here, up top isn't too terrible given the age and the fact that this was bought unknown after sitting. We have got some oil back up here because yesterday this was looking a little dry. So we just, before we drained the oil that was in the base, we just poured some oil over the bits that would need some lubrication just to try and get that up there. The reason I've just taken it off again is I want to try and get some oil down into our cylinders before we actually turn the engine over. We got some in there yesterday, but it wasn't amazing just because we couldn't get the little oil can we've got all the way down there because of the deep spark plug tubes. So I just took that off now so we can, one, to show you guys, and two, to chuck some more oil down there to soak, and then we'll flip it over. We want to try and get away without actually ripping the head or doing timing chain on this because it was apparently a runner when it was parked, so we just want to make sure everything's as lubricated as possible. Just got some oil down in there and put some sort of CRC, more like fogging type oil in there yesterday to try and coat everything, so I'll just let that soak for a bit. Obviously there's better ways to do it, but we're trying to do it on budget, so we're trying to do it this way, so it's fine. Whew, check it out. Can you see that? Exhaust port is open on this guy. And we can put this back on just to stop anything getting in there. Cool, so let that soak just for a little bit longer. It's had oil in it for probably 24 hours now, and then let that extra bit sitting there as well, and then the rings should be lubricated somewhat on the sleeves when we turn it over. But I'll just crack this guy open now and see what the dizzy looks like for rust. Oh, tight. That'll focus. Nope. Oh, maybe just, the points are pretty good. There's a little bit of surface corrosion just on this guy here, so just lightly sand those and sand these just to give them a light tidy up, just so that we have spark. When we do come to cranking over, if we have any issues with spark, at least we know we've kind of ruled that out. Sweet, those contact points are just cleaned up, so we should be good there. It's worth pointing out at this point that like you could just, well, the engines here, just be stripping stuff, getting so many parts for these engines, especially because SR20s are super cheap. You could also be, not 20s are cheap, but like parts and aftermarket parts, there's heaps of them and they're not too bad. We could also be turboing it, there's also be doing a whole lot to it, but because it's just a point to point out that this is rego's on hold, and the main thing we want to do is just get this car as a runner and get it to that point first in driving, which is why we are just literally trying to get this stock SR20 back into a DE, just back into a running condition, get it in the car, get a gearbox, get a diff, get this thing in like phase one running and operational. And then once we've done that, then Josh can decide like, do I want to turbo it? Do I want to do anything else? And I know some people say just keep the RB thing in there, RB swap it in that. But for Josh at this point, the best thing is to just simply get this car running, rego's on hold, to get it a waft, to get it road legal as is, not worrying too much about cert stuff other than suspension. And then we should be pretty good to go. So we're just going to keep going around the engine and getting it to a like, it should start up, crank and drive type state. That stuff is stuck on there. Yum. Panel is no longer black. And the floor carpets, this is that boot one I showed you, is now dyed black, which looks a whole lot better. So these are for the Nugget E36, which is the blue one. I've just put all the bolts back in the upper sump, and same with the cam cover, reason being, I think the next thing to do will just be to try to give the engine a bit of a clean and get all that gunk off it, get all the corrosion hopefully off it. So just put the covers back on. I should probably actually just tape up some of the ports that are open. Flush some water through the cooling line. Surprisingly, coolant came out when I tipped it over, which is way better than rust. That I was thinking we're just going to see rusty water, but we might get some when we put some through. And then we'll get it cleaned up, pull off the water pump, because we might as well put a new one of those on while we're here, and see what else we think we need to buy new bits for. But hopefully it looks a bit nicer clean, and then I get a bit more inspired to chuck it in the car and that it might run. Spin. Hey, play nice. Oh crap. Does it go this way? Josh's going to turn on the hose for me because we don't have a thingy-majig, and then we're going to try flush some water through and see where it comes out. Hold up, I don't have water yet. Oh no, Josh. What? It's a really fancy hose that doesn't let water out unless... Oh, I lied! I lied! You're good? Okay? I'm good. I thought it was one of those...
Do you want it back on?
Yeah, go for it. I thought it was one of those ones where you need like something clicked in for it.
No, it's not.
It's just delayed. Okay, keep going. I can't see any water coming out. I can now, but... Well, nothing horrifying's come out yet.
How high do you want the pressure?
Much as you got, I suppose.
That's maxed on the tap.
Okay, that's good. Size of thermostat bolts. 10s because it's Nissan, like everything else. The thermostat came off pretty clean. Looks good. Spoke too soon. There's chunks of something in it, but it's good. It's better than I thought. We might as well take the water pump off, I suppose, now too.
We should probably order a new one as well.
Yeah, for sure. Oh. These must be 12 or 14. That's not scary at all. I feel like they really didn't need to be that tight.
Probably gonna have to soak those belt tensioners in Coke, eh?
Yeah, something to try to clean them up. I probably should have put my bigger ratchet on these for the sake of my ratchet. Oh, we got some coolant jelly. Coolant jelly.
That's rusty.
It's literally like the clumps. Clumpy clump. Lovely and poisonous. That's pretty surprisingly clean for like how the exterior of this engine looks. I really did not expect the coolant jacks to look better than probably most of my cars. Nice.
Guaranteed better than all the beans.
Yeah, definitely better than all the things. It's not perfect, but it's looking a whole lot more like a motor you actually want to use. So yeah, it came up not too bad. Could definitely keep going further, but at this point there is better things to spend time on. What was really nice to see was how clean these water jackets and actually like in the blockers. There was a little bit of coolant jelly around here, but when I flushed it, not much to come out in chunks. It all looked pretty sweet. You really can't see as much with this, can you?
It's way less satisfying.
I feel like this is a good point to point out that our build quality and workmanship does vary on the quality of the vehicle.
Significantly.
This is not how we're going to approach the E36 with that.
This is exactly how the Silvia is going back together.
Yeah, I'm just going to sand it down, give it a quick spray with a cannon.
It's the $1,000 ML.
Car gets what the car deserves. Josh has made some headlights fancy from not fancy, which is very critical on such a vehicle. Look at it, it's like showroom. Also, factory OEM paint, and then over here we come across to factory OEM paint. Man, on camera you almost get away with it. Look at that. Damn.
It looks like primer.
It does, it looks like primer on camera. It's not this pretty, but it is giving the 10-foot same colour approach. Josh just started doing just this corner of the headlight on the X5.
For like 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Look at this side. This is like what they're like. You can't see anything out of them. Damn. Oh.
Hold on, let me try.
Nice. I think that's like our, for effort and ease, that's our best one of the day.
Yeah.
We'll probably be back next week, but compared to this,
Give it a couple days in the sun.
the time to crank it over by hand slowly that it's been sitting with some oil in. So we're going to see if it is seized. Josh? Seized? Which way do these turn? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Well, someone might hate us for this because technically you shouldn't turn them backwards, but like, I mean, come on, I'm sure it'll be fine. This is the part where either we both cry because unemployed, no engine. Are you going to Google it quickly?
Does a SR20 DE go clockwise or anti-clockwise? Oh bro, Google is not giving the information.
Okay, I'm going to turn it really slow. So it's been soaking for like 24 hours plus another 12 hours today with more oil in there. And the spark plugs are out now. Oh, it moves quite easily, at least through that section of the stroke. I'm just waiting for it to like bind to the spot and just be like, nope. Nah, actually like not much force at all. We'll chuck a little more oil in it and then see if we can wind it around a couple more times. Don't want to do it too much though. But it's not seized. It may still have wrecked bores, crappy wrecked bores with crappy sleeves and all sorts, but you know, it turns over. Oh, that's so easy turning.
This looks good for me, yeah?
That's so easy turning. Is this wet paint? Can I... What sketchy rust repairs. No, sweet, so I think that's good for today. We let it soak in oil, gave it a bit more of a check over. Everything seems like nothing massive red flag, and managed to crank it over there with the hand. And it's cleaner. And we got headlights done, we got some ML panels repainted and bits and pieces. But I think that pretty much concludes it for today. Now we just need sort of water pump, thermostat, all the stuff, a few new seals that we can chuck on this while it's out, just to get it to functional state. And then the next big task we're going to tackle is the wiring harness in this with that somewhat half-finished wiring job. But hope you guys liked watching the first video of these series, and we'll see you in the next one. Last job of the day is trying to colour match the new shiny panel with the filthy ones.
I missed!
No, any more days, just put it in the engine. Come on, come on. I'll rub it in. I'll rub it in for you. Here we go.
Alright, stand back.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Looks better already.
It looks new. You just rub that in. And now, when that dries, it should be like closer to colour match.
Put a few dents in it like that door.